So this is the final stop on this trip, and by the end, that makes 9 cities, 17 days, and over 500,000 steps. I've also got a little lens here that has way outperformed its price point, and I'll be showing that to you. And if you stick around to the end, I've got a little montage of my favorite photographs from the entire trip. Welcome to Dublin. And here we go. As we walk through Dublin Castle and into Dublin Garden, I am constantly checking the time because I have scheduled a Book of Kells experience, and when you do that, you have to choose a specific time. For anybody who has knowledge of or experience with ADHD, you'll know that having a specific event at a specific time takes up a lot of mental bandwidth because it's something that is outside of our typical routine, and we know our propensity to forget that thing. I found the Chester Beatty, and honestly, I feel like I could have spent the whole day here. Man, just so many artifacts that this guy collected over his lifetime, and you know, used his treasure for the common good. And I'm so glad this is here. This is on the west side of the garden. If you're in Dublin and historical artifacts are your thing, then I definitely recommend blocking out some time for the Chester Beatty. We're walking through Trinity College right now on the way to the Book of Kells experience. And as far as the experience goes, I would recommend that maybe you do it once, and that will probably cover you for a lifetime. The experience itself, there's a lot to see and hear and do there. You're not allowed to photograph the book. But yeah, I mean, they put on a big production, and it was great one time through. And personally, I enjoyed the Chester Beatty more. Your mileage may vary. After the experience, I just kind of wandered around the area to see what I could see and snap what I could snap. Um, yeah, and this went on till dinner time. Hope you enjoy this. I'm going to break in here real quick and give a shout out to this little lens that I was talking about before. This is the Viltrox autofocus 28mm f4.5, and it's a full frame lens, and I picked it up for 80 bucks on sale. I think regular price is 99. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I took this little lens out on Temple Bar for about 2 hours after the sunset, and man, I got some really good images. And check out what this does to my Sony A7CR. I mean, that is about the same height as the hand grip. It's just crazy how small this lens is. So it's a fixed aperture, and I set my minimum shutter speed at 1/30th of a second, which is where it was at all night. So the only thing that got adjusted was the ISO, which I put in auto. Matt took some really good photographs, and here they are. Both Christchurch and St. Patrick's cathedrals were close to my accommodation, and each were pay to play. So here's what I chose.
One of the things I've noticed about Dublin is they have a lot of these little green spaces everywhere. This one happens to be St. Patrick's. It's now maintained by the city of Dublin. But they all seem to just be well maintained, lots of order, no chaos, at least not this time of day. A peaceful place just to be. Oh, speaking of no chaos, there's some right there.
Let's go in. Is it ever too early for a Jameson? There is some good whiskey through this arch. Guinness is a timed event, so I skipped it.
Well, when you can't get into Guinness, here's a nice alternate plan just a little bit down the road.
Gonna do a real quick pan of the courtyard here.
That was nice. A lot of abstraction, a lot of pieces. Some of it I didn't understand, but that's art, man. Kind of like photography. Some people get it, some people don't, and that's okay. Either way. It was a good experience. I enjoyed it. Good collection.
Time kept moving, and so did I. Dublin, Ireland, Portugal. This trip has just been outstanding, and the people that I've met have been incredible. Unfortunately, it's time to go home. Stick around after this, and I will discuss my favorite photograph from each location. And then I've got a little montage that I've put together of all of my favorites. So we'll see you there. Until next time, much love and happy snapping. So I've got 10 photographs here, and each one represents my favorite from each location that I visited on this trip. Here we go. So this first picture is from Valença in the north of Portugal, and this is inside the fortress there. And what I've done is I've captured a reflection of the building across the street in a shop window. What I love about this picture is that it shows the blue tiles that Portugal is famous for, and also some ornate scroll work on the balconies. If you look real close, you can see a pedestrian right there. But another thing that I like about this photo is that the clothing matches. So we've got, the jacket, the sweater, another sweater right here. That all matches, and so it all just kind of comes together, and I really just enjoy this picture. So this picture is from Viana do Castelo, also in the north of Portugal, and I just was really fortunate to have this vintage BMW in front while this newer BMW is in the back, and I centered it underneath the great big window of the Santuario. And I just love how this picture came together for me. And it's one of my favorites of the whole trip. This photograph came together as like a snap decision. I was walking along the promenade here, along the Rio Douro, the Douro River, and this couple had just gotten up and they were leaving the premises. So I sat down at their table, I grabbed a wine glass, and I stuck it right here on the rail. And what I love about this photograph is that it embodies everything that Porto is about. It captures landmarks like Pont Luís and Serra do Pilar. Um, like I said, Hiodoru, Riverside Cafe. I mean, it's got all of the elements that kind of make Porto what it is. So I really love this photograph. This photograph comes from the palace grounds at the Parque da Pena in Sintra, Portugal. And it does a lot for me. I love what I when I took the photograph, I centered this lady up, uh, and I love that she's standing like right exactly where she's at in the crossroads here. And we've got the finger post that shows the direction to the chalet, Cruz Salta, and the Palacio. And she's made a decision, and she started to take that step. Um, And I also love how this pink bag just kind of is offset from everything else. The only pink thing in the only red thing in the whole frame. Um, but it also encompasses the palace grounds itself with all the greenery, the forest, the well-maintained paths. Um, and right here, uh, you can see Lisbon in the hazy background. And I didn't see this until just now, but there's another guy taking a photograph. I like this photograph. A lot of stuff comes together, and I like the questions that it makes me ask. For example, where did she come from, or is she here with the photographer? Once again, I've centered up the main character here in the photograph. Um, I don't think this is necessarily my best photograph of Lisbon, but for me, it embodies how I felt while I was there because everything is chaos around this guy. You've got a queue here, you've got buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings. Um, Laundry's hanging here. The wires are just spread out in a chaotic mess, and here you've got a narrow street, and this guy himself looks like he hasn't had an easy life, but here he is in the middle of all this chaos, just taking a minute for himself to light a cigarette. He's like, I'm just going to stop and do this for me right now. Love this photograph. So we've moved down to Ireland now, and this is Galway. I feel like I was struggling to take good photographs in Galway, and I don't know why, but this is the best one I think that I took there. But it's classic. I mean, you've got a group of people. Obviously, they're all friends. They're hanging out together, and then right underneath the bunch of grapes. It's a little humorous. It all comes together. Um, yeah, I like what it does. So this photograph came from the day of the Causeway tour, and on the way back, we stopped at Bushmills, County Antrim, and this guy got off a different bus, but I mean, with the blue shoes, the brown trousers, the green sheep sweater with the little black sheep right there, and he's being led around by this nice dog. I followed him, and I because I knew that there would be something there, and lo and behold, he did stop to take a picture of something. um so I centered up the dog, got everything in line, little something to tell us where we're at, and took the snap, got it back in post, and I missed focus. Oh well, you can't win them all. I love this image because of the whimsy, but we're also showing some Irish heritage, and the dog is classic. So yeah, I really like this image. So we've moved on to Belfast now, and one of the things that I've noticed about Ireland is I've seen a lot of building art, but particularly in Belfast. And this one, I took a lot of images of this particular piece of building art. But then, I mean, just lo and behold, this lady was crossing the street. She dropped down, knelt down to, I don't know, do her shoes or get something out of her bag. I don't know, but I mean, it was perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better. So this image is from the Howth Peninsula, just east of Dublin. And I took the cliff walk around this day, and I felt like I struggled to get good images like all day. And this is one of the best ones. I saw the ferry coming in and way down to the beach, and so I ran down to the beach, lined up these rocks. I love how the image just shows the jagged rocks and the cliffs and all that. And so I lined them up as best I could, and then just waited for the ferry to come through. I took about 8 snaps, and just of it going through that little opening, and this is the one that I stuck with. So this is the last stop on the whole trip, and I spent 2 days in Dublin, photographing during the day, and then on the evening of the first day, I went out on Temple Bar, and man, did I have a blast! And I got a truckload of good images, so it was hard to pick just one. I don't know that this is my favorite image, but I feel like it's my best image. And what I love about this is, we've got the crossroads, and amazingly, the whole crowd has just kind of cleared off and left this woman just standing here looking at her phone. Um, so the subject is very clear, and her jacket color matches the gold lighting on the Norseman here in Temple Bar, and she's such a clear subject that I don't think that even this bright glittery Temple Bar distracts too much from her. Another thing that I love about the photograph is that the purples here are the perfect complementary color to all the golds that you see in the image. So while it may not be my most favorite image from a personal perspective, I feel like it's my favorite image, like as in a best quality type of image, if that makes any sense. So I've put together a little montage that kind of encapsulates my photographic journey throughout the whole trip. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out the Ireland playlist here, and check out the Portugal playlist here.